So the first thing I have to say is the A7RV is not a cheap camera. It's a $5,300 plus tax camera here in Canada, so by no means cheap. And technologically, it is a marvel. Okay, the autofocus system in this camera is world class. It actually beats Sony's A1, which is their flagship camera, because it's newer. It has a newer autofocus system in there. I've never seen anything like this, guys. It's instantaneous. It locks on eyes of insects, birds, pets, humans, and it even guesses, it has an AI chip in here, if the person or pet turns around, the camera actually guesses where their eye is going to be when they turn back around, because it knows the shape of their head, the shape of their body. It's amazing stuff. The technology in this thing is amazing. I have to say that when I first picked this camera up, I own the A7RV, the A7R4, the A6600, and a plethora of Sony cameras before that, A77I, A77II, A99, A500, A350, blah, 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 on and on, right? I've owned them all. And I have to say, there's something about this camera, the buttons, the wheels, the dials, they feel cheap. This camera feels cheaper than any camera that has come before it. Is it not going to be as durable? I don't know. But there's something about it that just is off-putting. When I spent that much money, I'm like, I don't like the feel of it. There's one other thing that I want to answer in this video that I could not find information on anywhere online about the Sony A7RV, and I don't know why it doesn't work, okay, is their clear image zoom. So Sony has in all of their bodies, in here is like a built-in teleconverter. Okay, so you push a button and you can then scroll the wheel over and zoom the camera in digitally up to 2 times. And they've had this for years. This goes all the way back to 2014. My Sony A99 had this. Now, it's not just digitally zooming in. Sony is using some kind of algorithm, some kind of weird voodoo science, that when it zooms in, you retain the full image size of your sensor. So if your sensor is 24 million pixels, you take a picture, you get 24 million pictures, whether you're using clear image zoom or not. So in fact, that tells us that the camera has to be doing some kind of computing where it's actually taking that image, you're zoomed in, so it's upscaling it to retain the full 24 megapixels, or in this case, 60 megapixels. Okay, that's called clear image zoom. Now, the feature that I was looking for that works on the Sony ZV-E1, which is our video camera we bought last fall, is that now when you zoom in digitally on the ZV-E1, I still have 690 phase detection autofocus points that I can touch the screen anywhere and it will focus where I want to touch. That is a game-changing feature. Now you've got a built-in teleconverter and the ability to still autofocus wherever you want. All previous cameras before the ZV-E1 just put a green box around the frame and the camera decides where it's going to focus. Usually a wide zone, so that means the closest thing to the camera is what it's going to focus on. And unfortunately, the A7RV, I don't understand it, doesn't have that feature where when you zoom in, you can still use full autofocus. Why? If you can do that on the ZV-E1, Sony, you need to be doing this on a $6,000 camera. So I'm very disappointed in that. That is the one feature I was really looking forward to as a wildlife photographer, to be able to crop in digitally as well as with my teleconverter and still be able to click on that bird or the fox and have it track what I want it to track. And the A7R5 can't do that, so disappointed. That being said, the A7R5 has features in it that absolutely make it a worthy upgrade, even if you own the A7R4. You're getting the same sensor, the same 60 million pixels, but you're getting a way better autofocus system. You're getting that AI chip. So I can't wait to put a macro lens on this thing and go after insects, because it can actually detect insects as well. And then you've got the flippy screen. I've been wanting a flippy screen since 2000. Guys, one of the first digital cameras I ever bought was the Canon G2, a 4 megapixel, $1,000 at the time, point and shoot, 4 megapixels, okay? But that thing had a flippy screen. Why Sony has never done this until like 2020, I don't know. Like, they were trying to tell us, oh, you don't need it, you don't want it. And as, you know, consumers, photographers, we were telling them, no, we do want it. And it took other brands like Panasonic and Canon to have this available on their cameras before Sony said finally, oh, I guess people do want it. Even though we've been telling them for 20 years, we want it. That's really cool. There's a rainbow up there, but it's from ice crystals. Look at that. A winter rainbow. That's really cool. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. A rainbow with no rain. So I just did another swing by where the northern hawk owl has been seen, and did about 3 miles very slowly, checked both sides of the road, no sign of him. Everybody says that he hasn't been around for a week, so maybe he's moved on, I don't know. But I just got a text from Gerald, and he wants to head out of town 50 kilometers north to another place we know for eagles. So we're thinking about going there. I'm gonna go pick him up. We'll see if we can get some photos, because so far this morning, not a lot of action. Gerald's showing me this really cool tower here while we're out adventuring today.
Cashby.
That is old. Gerald was saying he got video of the osprey feeding their young on here. It's probably haunted. Oh yeah. The kids have found it anyway, full of graffiti. I want to drop my phone in there, but what's in there? Huh.
Was that too small for a robin's nest, or? Somebody here with there too.
Swallows, maybe? Yeah, it looks more like a swallow nest. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely think that's an old water tower. There was, you could see the plumbing inside. So, and we're right here at the lake, so that's what it's got to be. So we're just hitting some back roads here, and we found a couple guys out here with scopes looking at the snow buntings and horned larks. And then actually there's some guys over there that are in the North Bay Club, so we're going to go talk to them after. Some of the girls. We know them. But yeah, there are some birds out here. I told Gerald he's gonna have to run through the field out there and stir them up for me. They're just running around, they're not flying right now, so. All right, the day was ending. Look what we found right here on the highway on the way home. That's the closest we've been so far today. We did it, we finally did it.
We got something.